So to conclude the little Too Faced palette trilogy that I kind of have going on here, I have done a look and a first impression on the Too Faced Rock and Roll palette. If you guys missed the other ones, the Cat Eyes and the Country Girl or Country palette, I'll link those down below if you're interested in those ones. A lot of you guys had been asking me which palette out of the 3 that they released was my favorite, because you guys were having a hard time deciding on which one you guys wanted to get as well, and I wasn't able to give a full out opinion because I hadn't used the Rock and Roll palette just yet, but I can tell you that I have used the Country palette 3 times now. I just keep reaching for it when I'm not doing a video such as this. I had been wearing the Country palette, and I don't know, there's something about the scheme of it that's kind of unique when applied to the eyes, so just letting you know, that's the one that I've kind of been wearing the most out of the 3. Again, this is the first time I had used this one, but I don't find that all of the colors are super unique, whereas the Country palette, I don't know, there's some type of uniqueness to the color scheme in there. So with all that being said, I did do this look that's on my face right now with the Rock and Roll palette. If you guys are interested in that, it'll be towards the end of the video. But let's just jump into this palette. I'm holding up the box here. This is what it looks like. By far, this one is my favorite packaging out of the 3. I think it's cool. I also thought it was kind of ironic that Too Faced released the Rock and Roll and the Country palettes, kind of like they were kind of like a duo type of thing. Because when I was in high school, one of my teachers always used to call me a punk rock cowgirl because like looking at me, like if I were, you know, go shopping or if I went somewhere like that or school and stuff like that, you would never kind of think that I rode horse and did all of that type of stuff. So he just kind of, I don't know, coined that and used to call me that. Anyway, so I thought it was kind of neat that the 2 palettes were released like that. Anyway, this is what the palette looks like. Again, my favorite packaging out of the 3 that were released. I like the black and the pink and the whole vibe of it all. So it's super cute. That is the front. And there is the back. Again, same amount of product. The 3 larger shadows are 0.07 ounces a piece and the 3 smaller ones are 0.03 ounces a piece. And then inside you do have your look card and then a mirror in the background. So real quick, I'll kind of give you the rundown about the shades that I used, and then I'll zoom up close to the eyeshadows in the palette and give you guys some swatches. I did use 5 shades out of the 9 that are in the palette. I used Rockabilly on the lid, which is a matte beige shade, and a lot of the times when I use shades like that and they hit kind of my emollient primer that I use, they deepen up. This one did not do that, so I was really happy about that. And then I used New Wave underneath the brow, and New Wave is a it's one of those shades that has a matte base, but it's kind of chock full of larger glitter particles. So that was one of the shades that I thought out of the entire palette was going to be the iffy one, I guess. Like, you're not sure how it was going to perform. It does have a decent amount of pigmentation, and I did end up, even though I tapped my brush off fairly significantly, I did kind of end up with glitter on my face, which I had to brush off. So I kind of think it's kind of a glitter bomb, I guess. And then I used Punk in the crease, which blended out really nice. It's a good pigmented kind of forest green shade. I did have a tiny bit of fallout with that, and I blended out Punk with Glam Rock, which I think is the most unique shade out of the palette. It's like a gray green shade with some gold tiny micro shimmers in it. That worked out great. And then I blended out the Glam Rock shade with the New Romantic shade kind of through here, and everything just kind of vibed real nice together. I do think that the green shades have a smokiness to them. Like, it's green, but it's not like in your face forest green like some eyeshadows. So the whole vibe of the palette is, you know, that rock and roll smoky. So I liked the look that came out of it. It was fairly easy to create, other than the fallout with New Wave and a tiny bit with Punk, which it seemed to brush off my face pretty nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and zoom into the palette and give you guys some swatches. So here's the palette up close. I guess I didn't mention that quite a few of the shadows, what is it called here? Rockabilly, New Wave, they were kind of powdery, these 2 in particular. These ones kicked up a bit of product as well, but not as much as these 2 right here. There's only one true matte in the palette, and that is Rockabilly. So I'm glad that it's one of the larger shadows in the bunch. This one here, it goes on matte, like the base of it is matte, but you have those bigger particles of glitter in there. I wonder if you guys can see that. Can you see that? Come on there, camera, pick that up. Otherwise, everything else in the palette has got a shimmer or sheen to it. This color right here, Wrap, has got the most metallic finish out of the bunch. So let's just go ahead and swatch these. So there is the top row, Rockabilly, Wrap, and then Ska is the brown shade, which it's really pretty. And there are those three. And there is the next row. This one here is New Wave. The purpley shade is Pop. It's kind of a purple, sort of. It's got a little hint of burgundy to it, but it's really pretty shade. Both these middle shades are really pretty, but you see how they kind of have a dark smokiness to them. And then this shade here is Heavy Metal, which is kind of a blue with some sparkles in it, but it also has a bit of purple to it. The New Wave shade could use a little bit more pigmentation, but it is that one with the glitter, so. That is those ones. And there is the last row. This is New Romantic. This one is Glam Rock. And then the deepest one is Punk. See that one right there, the Glam Rock shade? I think it's really unique. And it's really a pretty shade. See the little sparkles in there? And there are those swatched out. So I kind of feel that I'm 3 for 3 on the new Too Faced palettes. Like I said, the new Natural Eyes palette, and then also the summer palette that they released at Sephora. I had issues with those, and I have used them a couple times as well, and they just didn't draw me in. There's something about some of the shadows that wasn't vibing real well, so I really like the 3 new ones. The looks that came out of all 3 are good. I've been wearing the Country Girl palette, and I've used every shade in the palette so far, and it's a pretty cool palette. So the whole palette really has a rock and roll vibe to it, which is, you know, the point. I think that even the shades with the color in them, they have a deep smokiness to them, where they're not like super bright or anything. So I do like it. I like all of the 3 new palettes that came out. This is the old Too Faced Smoky Eye palette. I don't think it's no longer available, but I used to use this palette a whole bunch right here. It's the one that used to be in the thick cardboard. I used to use this a lot, and this one is kind of reminiscent to this one for me. Like, I used to get some real smoky, you know, color, but still smoky like that out of this palette. So I like it. I like it a lot. So if you're interested in the look that's on my face and seeing a demo of the eyeshadows in action and the first impression and stuff like that, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. Just going to prime my eyes with the RMS Uncover Up in 00 from the lash line up to underneath the brow. Now I'm going to take the shade Rockabilly right here, which is a matte bone shade, kind of powdery, on a Goss number 18 brush, and I'm going to pack this all over the lid. Pick up a little bit more. It's not deepening up in tone. That is fabulous. It is kind of powdery though. Now this is the shade that concerns me the most from looking at it. It's called New Wave, and it's kind of a pink with a matte base, like it's a matte eyeshadow, but it's got those larger glitter specks running through it. And oftentimes with Too Faced shadows like that, they can kind of mess with the blending out of stuff. I don't know if this one's going to be like that or not, but I'm going to go ahead and use it underneath the brow, and hopefully it'll be all good. I'm definitely going to tap off the excess because I don't think that the glitter particles are going to necessarily stick, and I don't want them all over my face. So I'm going to pick up that New Wave shade, again a pretty dusty shade, and then tap it off. And there's glitter falling all over the floor. And I'm just going to go like that. Ooh. Okay, the RMS is a pretty sticky base, which I kind of have to use a sticky base like that because I have dry lids. But it's sticking. The glitter kind of is sticking. Can you guys see it? Hopefully things will blend out good. And the glitter shades are sticking. Some of them are, but some of them have fallen down on my face as well. I'm actually gonna run this kind of over that too, because I think some more might fall down when I'm blending out the other shadow. Now I'm gonna go for the greens in this palette because I really want to use this Glam Rock shade. It's a really unique looking shade, so I'm gonna use Punk, this deep emerald green type shade, and it does have shimmers running through it. I'm gonna use that through the crease. And granted, it's the Rock and Roll palette, so we can get pretty dark up in there. I was gonna do an all over the lid smoky again, kind of like the last one, but I decided to do it like this. Kind of cut crease style, I guess. Make sure I'm in focus. It's always such a pain when like I go to put the file in and go to edit the video and there's things out of focus. You're like, just blend this. I'm gonna kind of bring it up a ways too. And then I'm gonna take, oh, that was a Goss number 6 brush, by the way. And then I'm gonna take the Goss number 20 brush, which is a pencil brush, into that same Punk shade. And I'm just going to go ahead and shape the outer part of my eye. See, there's a glitter. I see a glitter. It's right there. That's a pretty deep green too. It's almost like a black base green shade. A little bit of fallout on there. Now on a Goss number 4 brush, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the shade Glam Rock right here and tap off the excess. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in front of the green right here, kind of bring it out always. I'm going to blend out that entire Punk shade with the Glam Rock right here real lightly. They're really smoky greens. And then I'm going to take, let's see here, then I'm going to take a Goss number 19 brush and I'm going to pick up the shade right here, New Romantic. It's kind of a, I don't know, warm light brown shade. And I'm going to blend out the rest of that with that shade. Tapping off the excess. Quite a few of these shadows have been powdery so far. Like that. Sweet. And then one more time with the Goss 6 brush, I'm going to run that through the crease. I'm not going to pick up any more product though. Just going to run that through. And one more time with the number 4 brush, again not picking up any more product and just kind of on the edge of that Punk shade. Cool. I wasn't sure what to expect out of that when I used the New Wave shade with the glitter in it, but turned out pretty good. What do you guys think? I was gravitating towards more of a nude lip, but I thought rock and roll and the whole theme of the palette, I thought I'd go with something a little bit darker. And I wanted to try out MAC's Lorde lipstick because I haven't worn it yet, so we're going to do something a little bit dark. And it's raining and ugly outside and anything but summer, so might as well. I'm going to take this Elizabeth Arden Beautiful Color lip liner in Plum Wine 12. It's one of their automatic ones, which these lip liners are amazing. And I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips, and I'm going to bring it in just a bit. After we have the lips lined, I'm just going to go ahead and straight from the bullet put on MAC's Pure Heroine lipstick, and it's amplified from the Lorde collection. So there is the overall finished look using the Too Faced Rock and Roll palette. I quite like how it came out. I think it's pretty neat palette, and this packaging. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.